What's up everyone, Jammy here back again with some more WWE Champions content, and today we are going to be doing a review on the Big Botch Man skill plate. So you can see on the left side of the screen we have the rainbow Big Botch Man, and it does obviously come in all 6 individual colours as well. Whenever you make 30 or more botch gems, you will increase all colour gem damage by 300% for 1 turn in the case of the rainbow, and in the case of the individual colours, you will increase that certain colour by 300% for 1 turn. The reason I've chosen this one, I see a lot of people still getting a lot of confusion over where to put these plates. So I thought I would finally take the time, and I have spent a lot of time today going through every character in the game to narrow down who this plate can be used on. But I will admit it has its complications when trying to identify, and I can understand why a lot of people get into difficulties trying to work out who this goes on to. And I managed to break it down into 3 tiers. So, first tier, obviously you're looking for any character that creates botch gems. Nice and simple. Second tier, you are looking for anyone who creates enough botch gems to set the plate off. So obviously in this case it has to be 30 or more. And then the final tier is once you've identified anyone who makes enough botch gems, you then need to actually take a look at the rest of their moves and see if they have an ability to generate a decent number of any color gem to make the plate worthy of going on there. Because if you're making the botch gems and you can't make a color gem, it's worthless being on the character in the first place. And the other thing I do want to just point out as well, which I think has been missed by certain people that I've seen, it also does not affect moves which do damage for every botch gem. It has to be a color gem. So we are going to take a scroll through. I have found, I think, 10. With maybe a few honourable mentions for Faction Boss. But we'll hop across to the first one, and we'll take a look at what we've got to start the list. So before we get to our main list, I do just want to throw out a couple of Faction Boss only options in this list. They're not really part of the official list, but just so you can see them. So if we very quickly jump into the roster, if it will let me go quickly, so if I can spell as well, Fatu of the Head Shrinkers. So he has a sub which makes 42 sub gems that generate botches. Obviously Faction Boss, that would count to set off the plate, and then the diving leg drop, you convert botches into green gems, so that's a 2 move cycle that recycles itself. The other one I wanted to shout out, and this is for a female boss, is Charlotte Flair. Now, probably not one that most people will have thought about, and I haven't actually set this up to show you, but if I punch that in there quickly. So, figure 8 leg lock makes 40 sub gems which make botch gems, again, sets off the plate. You can then do the big boot and the spear. Same as you would normally, but this is more of a Faction Boss one, which would be good if you don't have the green Piper's Power Pyro plate. So that would be a way of getting some boosted damage out of this instead, because the boost from the botch gems will be more than if you were using the Head Scissors takedown. So yeah, just a good little alternative for Charlotte there as well. Okay, so first up on our list is going to be Andrade. I've taken you into a match on this one just because I want to actually show you the way to set this moveset out, because it is quite picky. It's a little bit luck dependent. And I will also just advance warn you, I haven't set Andrade up with a strap, I haven't set him up with a plate, and he is only 5-star gold, so the move damage on this is going to be pitiful, but like I said, the main purpose of this is to show you the proper way to set this up. So first up, we're going to lay our Snowfall gems, which is going to be what gives us our Botch gems. So you break these and that will give us a 6x5 area here of botches, which will be enough to set off the plate. Second move set, the jumping Enziguri. You're going to make 7 gems into 1 turn countdown gems, which will in turn make 5 random gems into purple gems each. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these in the bottom corner here in this sort of layout. And finally, the back elbow smash, we are going to generate 8 purple gems. So first things first, we need to break a 5 match for our Snowfalls. And secondly, we need to put a swipeable 3 match in this corner. We have 1 spare, so I'm going to get rid of one of these 2 risky doubles here and hope that we don't cascade, which we didn't. So what you now need to do, if you swipe this 3 match here, doesn't cascade, that will set off our countdowns and blow up the board nicely. Now obviously I've only done 3.5 million there, but with a decent strap, with the Botchman plate and a much higher level than 5-star gold, that should do a considerable amount more. So yeah, that is Andrade. Like I said, it's clicky, it's luck dependent, because if you cascade you're stuffed, but it does work. So we'll move on from Andrade, and we will go on to who is our number 9 in the list. And number 9 then is going to be Ricky Steamboat, the Eternal Dragon. So Zombie Ricky has this nice 5 MP moveset here. So we will start with the Flight of the Dragon, which will choose a 7x1 area of pyro gems. Those pyros, when broken, will create the botch gems we need to set off our plate. The Severed Arm Drag creates 5 red gems. I'm not sure if that goes up, but if it doesn't, at the very least you can make a 4 match which will break the entire row of pyros. And then the Diving Wing Slash makes 38 botch gems into blue. So obviously in this instance you can use the rainbow plate, or you can use the blue Botchman plate. And that should do a good boost to the blue gems that are generated from the botch gems. So that is our number 9 in Ricky Steamboat. And we'll go on then to the next. Okay, third option to offer to you guys coming in at number 8 on our list is Rusev. Rusev returns. So with Rusev we have our double blue and a yellow moveset here. The Fall Away Slam makes a 7x5 into botch gems, so that is 35 gems. I had to recheck my math in my head then. So that's going to give us 35 botch gems, which will set off our plate. The Running Hip Attack is going to gain 8 yellow MP. Unfortunately that does not go to 9. So when setting up Rusev, if you're going to run this for say a feud or a showdown, you would need to make sure you have Santa Hogan on. For tours, make sure you've got either Santa Hogan or an Armor King, just so that you have at least 1 additional charge into the jumping sidekick. And that is our finisher, which creates 1 row of multiply gems of strength 10, and then that chooses a 7x2 area to swap into blue gems, which you would obviously, one of those 2 rows would be your multiplies. So hopefully that would give you a decent chunk of damage. I don't think this build is necessarily going to be game breaking, even with the Botchman plate, but it is certainly usable, so it's definitely an option for Rusev. So on from Rusev we go to our number 7. Number 7 then is the man with the lemon pepper steppers. It is Trick Williams, NXT. So Trick has this lovely moveset here. The big boot is a yellow MP charge, will fully charge your slam dunk at the top. You have the flying clothesline, which will make 41 random gems into Botch gems, which will obviously set off our plate. And the slam dunk itself, the finisher, makes 47 random gems into purple gems and pins the opponent, with the added bonus that if you are facing a technician, you will initially make 14 leech gems, which in themselves are nearly 1,000,000 damage. So, yeah, not a bad moveset there for Trick Williams, definitely feasible for the Botchman plate. And nice and easy to run through. So, Trick Williams comes in at number 7 on our list. And we'll move on then to number 6. Okay, coming in at number 6 is Big Mommy Cool herself, Raquel Rodriguez of the Judgment Day. Now, Raquel has this moveset here, with the Fall Away Slam being the move that will set off our botch plate. So it makes a 5x7 area. The Tejana Bomb. Deal 1,000,000 damage. You will initially do damage per botch gem, and as I said at the start of the video, this part of it will not be affected by the plate. But what will be affected is the second half of the finisher, which is choosing a 2x7 area to swap into black gems. So that will be 14 black gems, which will be nicely boosted by your Big Botch Man plate. And then finally you have up here the running clothesline, which is what you will use to refill the Tejana Bomb. So, recycles nicely, sets off the plate, may not be the best damage, considering you are only doing a 2x7 of black gems, but certainly feasible, once again, and definitely an option for Big Mommy Cool. So that is our number 6. And then coming in at number 5, we have Mankind, Mr. Socko. So Mick Foley here, Mr. Socko, has a purple and double green moveset. So the Tree of Woe double axe handle is what you're going to use to fill up your 2 green moves. It lets you choose 5 gems to make into green. And it also then increases your purple MP by 5, which means the second turn, should you get there, this Tree of Woe will be refilled. The Mandible Claw, you choose 5 columns to make into botch gems, so that is going to be a 5x7, which means 35 botch gems, and that will set off our plate. And finally, the Double Arm DDT lets you make 41 random gems into green gems, and as an additional, it is a hardcore move, so if you are facing a powerhouse, you will initially boost your green gem damage by 133% before you lay those green gems. So yep, definitely another very good one, especially if you are facing a powerhouse as well, with that additional green gem damage boost. So Mankind definitely warranted on this list. So that is our number 5 in Mr. Socko. And we'll move on to number 4. Okay, number 4 then is going to be Hall of Fame Lex Luger. So Lex has this moveset here, so the leaping elbow drop, which will make a 5x6 into botch gems, and should you be facing a striker, you will first make a 1x5 into multiply gems of strength 10. Obviously that is going to be a nice double if you are facing a striker, just to make sure you don't lay the botches over the multis. Second move is the running forearm smash. So you will first do damage per botch gem, and as already stated, that will not be affected by the plate, but you will be affected with this 3x7 area to swap into green gems. Now obviously you can put that anywhere, but if you are facing a striker and you lay these multis out first, I would obviously suggest laying over that for the increased damage. And then finally we have our vertical suplex here, which you can have first, you can have last. Obviously just going to be used to charge these two moves here. And that is going to be another good option for the Botchman plate. So Lex Luger comes in at number 4, and we move on to number 3. Okay, then coming in at number 3 is going to be the man for whom this plate was actually created in the first place, and that is the Big Boss Man of the corporation. So, similar to what we had previously, I think it was with Lex, or it might be Mankind, I can't remember off the top of my head now. The Rib Breaker chooses 5 columns to make into Botch Gems, and that will be 35 gems, which sets off our plate. The Big Boss Man Slam will do damage per botch, as we know, doesn't affect it, not affected by the plate. And then it makes 36 botch gems into black gems, so that is breaking all of your botch gems, or converting them all into black gems. And finally, the Leg Trap Enziguri, which is what you will use to charge the Big Boss Man Slam. It increases your red MP by 10. So another nice, easy to use moveset there, and another one that sets off our botch gem plate very nicely. And we'll go into our top 2 now, and I think these two quite possibly are the best options for this plate. So let's start with number 2. Number 2 then is going to be the visionary himself, Seth Rollins. So with Seth, we have this moveset here, which is the angled blockbuster, which you will use to charge both of the red moves. You have the Phoenix Splash, make a 5x7 into botch gems, followed up by making the bottom 2 rows into multiply gems of strength 13. Obviously the 5x7 is what will set off our plate. And then finally the Stomp, which will make 22 multiply gems into red gems and pin the opponent. And just as a caveat on this one, what you can also do, which I do myself, as you can see, if you use the botch slap plate as well, that will create an additional 8 multiply gems, which in themselves will also be converted into red gems by the Stomp. So it works quite nicely as a combination set of the Botchman plate and the Botch slapped plate. So definitely a very, very good moveset for Mr. Seth Rollins. But there is one who I would consider to be better, I think, than Seth, although I think that might be up for argument, so by all means let me know. But let's go and take a look at our number 1 on the list and our excuse me, our final option. And up last then is our number 1 choice, which is Randy Orton, the veteran Viper. And as you can see, it is a character that I don't have, only one in the list. So what we are going to do is we are going to caveat across to the portal. And I'm going to show you this moveset here. So you're going to start off with the very European uppercut, which will charge your purple MP by 10, which will charge both the Luthez press and the punt kick. The Luthez press is going to make your botch gems, so at max it will make 40 and it will set off the plate. And then following on from that, it will increase your purple gem damage by 240% for 1 turn. And finally, the punt kick, which makes 40 random gems into purple gems and pins the opponent. But just as a caveat on from that as well, you do have a second option, which won't do as much damage, but you also have down here the RKO. And that makes a 7x7 random area into black gems. So You won't get the boost from the Luthez press, which boosts the purple gem damage, but it does make an entire board of black, so it gives you 2 different options. For, say, example, if you were wanting to run a Riyadh Rumble plate alongside it. So, yeah, that is Randy Orton at number 1 on our list. Like I said, I'm in 2 minds whether Randy or Seth should have been number 1 on there, but they are both probably, for me, the best options alongside the Big Boss Man. I think top 3 definitely deserve top 3 in this list. And, yeah, so that is us for this video. So, let me know what you think, guys. I hope this has been useful. And I hope that some of these people will be someone that you can put this plate onto to boost your own roster. Drop me a comment down below, let me know, and purely because I know full well that I've scrolled through 700 characters, there is a chance I have missed someone that should stand out in this list, so if there is, please again let me know. But aside from that, if you could please like, share and subscribe, all of the good stuff. And we'll catch you in the next video. So keep jamming and have a nice day.